but we decided it was more important to be with her.
With all of the rules in place to mitigate the spread of COVID-19, Jordan Kilgren from Commerce Township says he feels okay getting on a plane. He too is off to Florida with just his immediate family.
We just did a rapid test, but I actually got like the full test a week ago.
We travel this time of year every year, and the airport looks so different. It's a lot less crowded.
And it's the airport itself that CDC officials are most worried about. Lines in crowded public areas posing big concerns. And here at the McNamara terminal, a new tool to enhance safety within the airport itself, a disinfecting robot which made its public debut earlier this year at Gerald R. Ford International Airport in Grand Rapids. As has been the case for several months now, masks are required inside the Detroit Metro Airport, a rule we saw strictly followed today. As national air travel numbers topped 1 million for 3 straight days this past weekend, TSA spokesperson Lisa Farbstein tweeted out this reminder about face coverings.
We're flying Delta and they have the middle seat is empty and the air purification and everything. And in the airport, we figure we can just manage that because we can socially distance from people.
It's airlines' adherence to mask rules that Kilgren says has made him more comfortable with flying right now.
We've flown a few times during the pandemic and it's actually been super smooth.
The CDC continues to say the safest way to celebrate the holidays this year is at home with just your immediate family. But if you are flying, the TSA suggests not flying with wrapped presents because if they pose any kind of a security question, they will ask you to unwrap them. Reporting from Detroit Metro Airport, Jen Shantz, 7 Action News.
Good reminders, Jen. Thank you. And taking a live look out over downtown Detroit there. A very mild winter day, but changes are coming. Let's check in with 7 First Alert meteorologist Kevin Jeans. Kevin, we got to talk about this mild day because this is not something that comes around every year.
Right. Not too often. And we're still talking about lower 50s this afternoon, Amira. Right now it's 45 degrees. We've warmed up nicely this morning. 45 in Southfield, Farmington Hills, and around the Novi area. We're going to be in the lower 50s today. It's still going to get more windy as the rest of the day goes on through the rest of the afternoon. A couple of showers are farther to the west of us, still west of Coldwater, but around Kalamazoo and Grand Rapids. A few spotty showers, not a big deal, but one of those spotty showers is possible around southeast Michigan as early as 4 p.m. So 45 degrees right now. There's warmer air that is moving in from the southwest. Here's the cold air that's going to follow. And right now, the Arctic air is spilling south of Canada over the Dakotas and Minnesota. You see all the snow in Minnesota right now. So cold air will follow. That really takes over to beginning tomorrow when temperatures really take a dive. But today, 52 degrees for the high temperature, wind gusting as high as 35 miles per hour this afternoon, and it's going to be windy also tonight. So we're looking at the temperatures. I'll tell you how far the temperatures are going to be dropping tonight and what our rain and snow chances are going to be like for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day coming up.
All right, sounds good, Kevin. Thank you. We will turn now to a woman charged with texting threats to Monica Palmer. That's the chair of the Wayne County Board of Canvassers. Investigators say the suspect has confessed. Caitlin Jones of New Hampshire is now charged in a federal complaint, and she's accused of threatening Palmer, who voted against certifying election results for Wayne County. The complaint says Palmer was called a terrorist and was sent graphic photos of a dead woman and a picture of her own underage daughter. Investigators traced the text back to Jones in New Hampshire. They say Jones told them she sent the images because she was angry that Palmer was interfering with the election. You can read the full criminal complaint on our webpage, WXYZ.com. A Detroit woman is facing 2 counts of mail theft for ripping off residents. Sade Scott is accused of taking packages off 2 porches in the city. One was at a home on Sorrento Street on December 19th. The other was later that day at a home on Apolline Street. Detroit police were able to identify the 33-year-old as the thief and arrested her the next day. A COVID-19 vaccination program launches today in the city of Detroit. Mayor Mike Duggan was among the first to get the shot on Tuesday. He says it's not required, but today's vaccine deployment begins with 30 health department employees, along with 1,200 medical first responders and EMTs in the Detroit Fire Department. Henry Ford Health System says it received 975 Pfizer vaccines per hospital. Also 1,200 Moderna doses on behalf of the city, and Henry Ford is expecting another 13,000 doses of Moderna to arrive very soon. But the numbers of doses keeps changing a bit.
It's a bit of a logistics Rubik's Cube for us.
All of us going to vaccinate based on what shows up every day.
Mayor Duggan says although the vaccine will be available for first responders, again, it is not required. And the state's COVID-19 numbers are slowly declining. Tuesday, there were nearly 3,100 new cases reported in the state. The total is now just under 466,500. There was also an additional 173 deaths, 72 of which came from a review of vital records. COVID-19 has claimed 11,705 lives in Michigan since March. And we're going to have another update on the numbers this afternoon, which we will bring you on WXYZ.com. The Trump administration is set to purchase 100 million additional doses of coronavirus vaccine from Pfizer. That is according to the Department of Health and Human Services. Pfizer will deliver at least 70 million doses by the end of June. The remaining doses will be delivered no later than July 31st. Including this latest deal, the federal government has purchased a total of 200 million doses of the Pfizer vaccine for $4 billion. All right, well, it is a big day for two of Detroit's casinos reopening their doors after being closed for weeks. Under new, more relaxed state health orders, casinos in Michigan were allowed to open on Monday. Both MGM Grand and Motor City Casino will welcome back guests today. MGM Grand reopens tonight at 5. The vice president there tells us the reason for the reopen today instead of Monday was to COVID test more than 1,000 returning employees. Motor City Casino reopens this afternoon, and we are learning Greektown Casino will gear up to welcome back its customers tomorrow on Christmas Eve.
City of Detroit has provided all three casinos, like other businesses that they partner with rapid testing. We're allowed 20 people per 1,000 square feet, but in any distinct space, no more than 100.
Now, casino goers must follow capacity limits, wear masks inside, and practice social distancing. Guests will also notice no food and drinks this time around, so that's a change you want to pay attention to if you're heading to any of those casinos. And stay with 7 Action News for continuing coverage of the pandemic. You can get up-to-the-minute information on the number of infections in our state, the money being approved to help businesses during the pandemic, and the latest warning and advisories during the pandemic. It's all over on our website, WXYZ.com. Still to come on Action News at noon. Only 2 days until Christmas. Will your packages make it on time? That's the question. What we're learning about the delays this year. Plus, a massive fire at a recycling plant in the Midwest, where this happened, and what we're learning about the possible cause. And caught on camera, a Christmas Grinch destroys a community library box. We're going to have that story for you coming up next at noon. A criminal was caught on camera trashing a Baltimore woman's free library. The video showing the unknown man using a garbage can to try and smash the library box off of its foundation, but it was set in concrete. He managed to mangle the display case and even take the books that were inside. The owner runs a non-profit and created the library herself. Inside, she displays books and information about the organization's mission, which empowers youth while supporting families and strengthening communities. So far, no arrests have been made in the case. Investigators are trying to figure out what sparked a massive fire at a recycling plant in Missouri. It happened at the Proud Veteran Resources and Recycling Plant in DeSoto, a suburb of St. Louis. Firefighters say a trailer caught fire outside of the plant. The flames reached the building, which then quickly spread throughout the facility. Inside the plant was recycled paper, plastic, and aluminum. No one was hurt, thankfully, but this fire does remain under investigation. Still ahead on Action News at noon, President Trump releasing a long list of pardons. Was former Detroit Mayor Kwame Kilpatrick on the list? But first, what you need to know about holiday shipping this year. Will your packages get here on time? What are your options? We're going to explore that on the other side. Stay with us. So many people are buying late gifts online. There's a big concern, though, that a lot of them won't be delivered in time to make it under the tree. Shippers have been overwhelmed for weeks by a surge in online shopping. But ABC's Becky Worley has some last-minute tips that could optimize your chances of a successful delivery.
From online warehouses to package hubs to the last mile of delivery, this morning the shipping system strained to the breaking point. Analyst ShipMatrix estimates that 7 million packages have been delayed this holiday season. The Washington Post reporting private carriers FedEx and UPS have cut off new deliveries for some retailers, rerouting surging mail volumes through the overwhelmed Postal Service. Now the U.S. Postal Service is seeing numbers like never before. With packages still en route and Christmas 2 days away, what should consumers do about their gifts?
If you haven't gotten your gift yet, it might be time to get creative about your gifting options.
There are some options for improving your odds of receiving that delayed delivery. Many carriers will let you sign up for real-time updates via text. But with this much volume, tracking software can be a little off.
In fact, tracking isn't necessarily being updated in real time. I have several packages that say they're outstanding that have already been delivered. So it is possible that you'll get a nice surprise on your doorstep.
Also, go to the carrier's website and make sure you don't have signature required for your deliveries.
If you're unsure whether your package will deliver on time, you might need to be creative about how you deliver that gift. So you can wrap a smaller version of the item that you have coming to you or a picture of that item and still give somebody the opportunity to open that present without actually having the item in hand.
UPS says it is running one of the most successful peak holiday shipping seasons ever. So if you're running close to the wire for gifts this Christmas, many stores like Macy's are partnering with DoorDash and Uber Eats to provide last-minute deliveries. Keep that in mind as well. President Trump has issued a wave of lame duck pardons, but former Detroit Mayor Kwame Kilpatrick, he was not on that list. Some of the 15 pardons include George Papadopoulos, a former Trump campaign aide who lied during the Russia investigation. Also on the list, former Congressman Duncan Hunter. He was sentenced to 11 months in prison for his misuse of campaign funds for personal expenses.